Hey, what's up, guys? So, like I was telling you guys earlier, I'm gonna go ahead and make a YouTube video regarding both sections of the final exam. This is gonna be part one. So, let's go ahead and get started. So, in this question, they're asking you for the solution. What do they mean by solution? That means they want you guys to find out where they intercept. So, if you notice, both of these equations, they're different. What you need to do is make sure that one of those, well, actually both of those, need to begin with y equals. Now, have you noticed only the bottom one? So that means you need to fix the top. The top is in standard form. So let's go ahead and convert that. So 10x minus 6y equals 132. So from here, x goes to the other side. You do the opposite. The opposite of 10x is minus 10x. What you do to one side, you do to the other. This cancels. This turns into negative 6y equals negative 10x plus 132. Now from here, you're one move away. The last move, you divide by negative 6. This cancels. Y equals two negatives, give you a positive. 10 divided by 6, you're going to leave that right here as an improper fraction. And then a positive divided by a negative is a negative. 132 divided by 6, that is 22. Now, this improper fraction, it can be reduced. So 10 and 6, what number they have in common? You're going to say 2. So both sides get divided by 2. This turns into 5 over 3. And that's where this comes into 5 over 3. So let me erase this. Y equals 5 over 3x minus 22. So the top one is now ready. So check. Now if you look at the bottom one, there's only one thing you need to fix. You have to divide both of those numbers on the numerators by the denominator, which is 3. So here's part 2. This is y equals 5 over 3x, and then negative 66 divided by 3. That can be simplified. This, I'm going to write it right next to it. Y equals 5 over 3x. Whenever you divide negative 66 by 3, you get negative 22. And this is where the question is asked. What is the solution of the system of equations? If you look at both the equations, guys, you notice that they're both the same. Since they're both the same, whenever you graph them, they're going to be right on top of each other. Since they are on top of each other, that means that you're going to have infinite numbers of solutions. Let me put that a little bit more on this side. The answer is indeed 8. So whenever they're both the same, they're right on top of each other. So make sure you guys copy this down, and let's transition to the next question. Let me go ahead and erase. Next question. Right here, guys, they're asking you for the rate of change. So whenever you're doing rate of change, remember this equation. Y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope. And you need to know that rate of change is slope. So all you would have to do is over here, look for the number that is right next to the x, and that's right here. Your answer is H. All right, let's go ahead and continue. Next question. Perfect. We're going to skip this one because there was an error. Here we go. Range. You need to find the range of -1 and 4. So whenever you're trying to find range, remember range is your y values. Range is y values. Now, next one. You need to know about the open circles and closed circles. Open circle, you are dealing with less than and greater than. Those are open circles. Whenever you see less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, those are closed circles. So let me go ahead and shape them in. And there we go. Now, how do you find range? This is how you find range, guys. Range is your lowest point to your highest. So range is lowest to highest. So let's go ahead and eliminate some questions. So first we notice that both of these are less thans. That means you are dealing with an open circle. If you look at A, you have a closed circle, that's not the answer. B, they're both open. C, they're both open. D, they're both open. So let's go ahead and continue. Now we're left with B, C, and D. Let's start with B. So it says that my lowest point is -1. So if you look at this graph, my lowest point would be right here and is located at -3 and -2. And if you notice, none of them are -1, so gone. If you look at C, the lowest point is right here. This is located at 5 and -1. But remember, range is your y values. Which one's your y value? -1. So this one gets a pass. Now let's go to the highest point. The highest should be 4. So if we look at this, this is my highest. This is located at 0, 4. This is my x. This is my y. This is indeed correct. And you're done. So let's go ahead and continue to the next question. So here we go. Let me go ahead and clear all of this. Next question. Perfect. This one right here, guys. I'm going to show you the easiest shortcut when doing this problem. So the question is f of x equals 1 over 3 parentheses 7 minus x squared. They want f of 13. And if you notice, this is why I set it up like this, guys. They're right on top of each other. So that means my x turns into 13. So this becomes 1 over 3 parentheses 7 minus 13 squared. So by hand, here is what you're going to do. You're going to plug in. So f of 13 becomes 1 over 3, 7 minus 13, that's -6, and then squared. From here, you square the -6. -6 times -6, that is 36. So now you need to not equals, I'm sorry. This should be 1 over 3 parentheses 36. So you have to multiply a fraction to a whole number. Make the whole number into a fraction. Multiply across. 1 times 36 is 36. 36, and then at the bottom, the denominator, 3 times 1 is 3. 36 divided by 3 is 12. And that is your answer. Now, if you want the shortcut, this is where your calculator comes in handy. So whenever you're doing the calculator, this is what I want you guys to do. Rewrite the equation just how it's written. So you're going to do 1 divided by 3, open a parentheses, 7 minus 13, close it, and squared. Enter, and if you notice, 12. And there you go, same number, and that's the shortcut. So I recommend you do the calculator one, it's much quicker. Let's go ahead and continue. Boom, rate of change, guys. Once again, you should know that rate of change is slope. You need to find the rate of change of this question. So remember, rate of change, the difference in y over the difference of x. So let's find out the differences. From here to here, from 0.75 to 150, that was an increase of 0.75. At the bottom, from 60 to 45, it went down 15. So the difference in y is -15. The difference in x is 0.75. Whenever you divide, you are going to get -20. H. Just find the differences and that's it. So remember, from 0.75 to 1.50, it went up, so it stayed positive, and then the difference was 75. From here, from 60 to 45, it went down 15, and there you go. Set it up. Remember the difference in y over the difference of x. Let's go ahead and continue. Here we go. This one's going to give you problems. Whenever you're doing this question right here, this is what you need to remember. First off, look at this equation right here. You have to solve it. Remember, you got to make it into beginning with y. So x minus 3y greater than or equal to -9. We got to solve it. So first we move the x. This turns into -3y. It's greater than or equal to -x minus 9. Now, the last move, you got to get rid of this -3, so you divide by -3. Cancels, this turns into y. Here's what you need to copy. You divide it by a negative number. Whenever you divide by a negative number, that inequality flips. Two negatives give you a positive. X divided by 3, that's just 1 over 3x. Two negatives give you a positive. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And if you notice, they already did you the favor of graphing it. So whenever you do the next part, you need to figure out where the shading is going to be. So less than or equal to, you are shading below. Greater than or equal to, you're shading above. So from here, since it's already graphed, you're going to shade below. So all of this gets shaded. And now, let's go ahead and figure out which one of these points is inside the shaded or on the graph. So if you're plotting points, let's go ahead and figure it out. Let me change colors. You guys can see those points. Now, this one, 3 and 5, that would be right here. Nope. 4 and 4.5. 4, 4.5 would be right there. Nope. -3 and 2, that is right on the line. So that's your answer. And there you go. This is what I recommend you guys copy so you guys can see the process. The first move your x to the other side, and then divide by your y. If you divide by a negative, you flip the inequality. Let's go ahead and go to the next. Question 8. It says a company has a monthly budget of X dollars. Every month, 15,300 of the monthly budget is spent on salary. 1/3 of the remaining budget is spent on office supplies. Which function can be used to calculate the amount in dollars spent on office supplies? So, first thing, the first word is spent. That means subtraction. So, you know you're going to spend 15,300. And then we don't know how much the monthly budget is, right? So that's X. And we know we're subtracting it from that. And then 1/3, simple. 1/3, that's 1 over 3. You already got your on top, you already got your numerator. So the bottom is your denominator. Your answer, J. This one, like I said, guys, cliche as it sounds, the answer is in here. Just got to make sure you read it carefully. This one, new method. This right here, you would have to multiply both of these monomials. So this is something that is called the box method. When doing the box method, let's set them up. This is 4x plus 7. Whoops, Mr. Del Rio don't know how to write that good. So this is 4x, this is 7, this is 2x, this is -3. Here is straight multiplication. 4 times 2, that's 8. If you notice, x times x, that's x squared. 4x times -3, that's -12x. 7 times 2, that is 14x. 7 times -3, that is -21. So from here, combine like terms. First answer is 8x squared. Then you combine these. These you will always combine. 14 minus 12, that is positive 2x. And then minus 21, my answer is D. Go ahead and to the next. Now, this one. Brian and Brandon are taking a trip to the pet store. So, here we go.